Hello, Taurus, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of June 21st through the 27th. And during that time, we first have the solstice, of course, that comes in on the 21st. So if there's a way for you to get out and enjoy that, either the sunrise or sunset, there's usually some places around. So look around for that sort of thing. We then have the first quarter moon that comes in on the 23rd. And that's like a little mini full moon where you might feel impulsive and impatient. It might be hard for you to just get anything done that day. Just a little bit of frustration comes in. So, it's a good time to learn how to control and dominate our impulses. So use that as a little gift to do that, or just take it easy that day. We then also have the waxing gibbous, and that is for the rest of the week. That is a really good time for a deeper understanding and outlook. We're buckling down and working on those things that we've just started, for the new moon, and show that we can be flexible and make adjustments. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Taurus. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: a time to give rather than take. Okay, let's see what the Taurus Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, my fun weekly reminder for you this week is that you keep a spiritual journal. So many times we just kind of forget the things that we've been learning, and it's just a great tool to be able to go back and look and think, oh, I learned this thing and I've applied it, and here's, and it's made these changes in my life, or I applied this thing and it made no changes, so I'm going to do something different. So, but these would be things you're learning and your spiritual awareness, things that this could be synchronicities that you're having. We've got some cards flying, but big stack, so we're going to keep them in here. Stay in the deck there for a little bit. Cards, we'll get you out in a minute. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so this could be synchronicities, repeating number patterns. This could be animals that you're encountering. And when for animals, for example, when I encounter an animal that I don't see every day, go look up the attributes of that animal. And typically, there's something going on in your life where you need to apply those attributes. So that is one way the universe speaks to us. But anyway, just keep notes of those things, even dreams that you're having, journaling those dreams. It's just a good little tool to have to go back, see what you're learning, make adjustments, and remember things that you're forgetting. Well, if you're like me, I always have to jot things down. So anyway, that is my fun weekly reminder for you, Taurus. All right, let's get into this reading since these cards are ready to go. June 21st through the 27th. A time to give rather than take. And Taurus, your overall present energy right now is the Three of Cups. So it looks like you're kind of in celebration mode, party mode, and maybe it's a time to give that to others, which is fine. I love that. So take some time this week to relax, hang out with friends, get together, celebrate whatever's going on in everyone's lives, right? Your current situation is the Chariot. So we're getting ready to make some sort of move somewhere. This could be, and you're just gathering information. The Chariot, and it could mean just making a change in your life where you're gathering the information to do so. It could be any small thing. It could just be a change in how you eat. So you're gathering information on, some sort of nutrition plan that you want to stick to, or it could be changing your exercise. It could be literal moving. So there's something going on that you're kind of gathering information before you actually start putting it into action. So whatever that is, just continue to gather that information for yourself. At the root of your situation is the Five of Cups. So there could be something that you're a little bit sad about and upset about, and that's maybe what the change is about. Is there something changing within your friend group? It could be, remember with these cups that are knocked down, you do still have some cups at your back there, but there might be something that has brought on some sort of change. And again, it could be, many times this is the card of friends and friendship. So there could just be something that's changing within that friend group. And that also might be the information that you're kind of collecting, like, how do I deal with this? How do I manage it? Those groups change often, and you do have to just kind of make adjustments as things go on. What is in your recent past here is the Empress card. So you're coming into this feeling very creative, feeling like, the Empress is about Bounty. She's like the mother in our deck. She can be a card of pregnancy. So if that's something you're trying to avoid, please be careful there. If it's something you're trying to do, go ahead. There you go. But maybe you're recently pregnant. For some of you, recently giving birth to something that's even just a long-term project. A lot of times, she is the card of motherhood, but she's also the card of entering into long-term things. So for some of you, it could be entering into marriage. It could be buying a home. It's creativity in the way that you're making decisions on things that are very, very long-term, not just, something that's going to last a couple of weeks or so. But you're coming into this with this long-term commitment to something. So, let's continue to see what's going on. What's on your mind this week is that you are looking back. This is our Wounded Warrior card here, the Nine of Wands. This is kind of looking back and seeing where you've been. Again, I'm getting the feeling that this is maybe, let me adjust my cards here. I'll have space to show everybody here. Are you looking back on some sort of friendship thing here as something has happened and we're making a move? Again, for some of you, I'm probably getting that dead on. That seems to be the energy here, with these friends at the middle of this. So again, things like that happen. You have to make adjustments and make movements there. What is just ahead of you this week is the Nine of Cups. So feeling a little bit self-satisfied about something that also puts two nines on the table. So look up angel number 99, jot it down in your spiritual journal. But this is about kind of towards the end of the week here, you're going to feel like, okay, everything's better. Maybe things get a little sad during the week, but something happens to kind of make you feel a little bit better about it. Again, it's a time to give rather than take. So if you have a friend out there that needs a little more time, needs someone to listen to, this might be the week for that. Go ahead and give them some space, because they just need you to be there and listen to them. In your advice position here is the Queen of Pentacles. So we're going to be hard at work this week when it comes to working on material things, working on making money, that sort of thing. So, the advice is to go ahead and prioritize that. You have some other things going on, but make sure that that is a priority this week, is being that Queen of Pentacles, which is kind of just having the understanding of everything that's going on around you when it comes to work, money, your home life. Everything's kind of organized, and just make sure that you're on top of all of those things this week. What is beyond your control is the Justice card, which is truth that comes out. Is this having to do with the situation? Probably. Maybe some sort of truth. Are we dealing with gossip or hearsay or whatever, and some truth comes to light, or you just learn something new that changes your perspective on something? Could be. Let's continue to see here. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Okay, is the Two of Swords. So you're trying to avoid making some sort of decision. And I'm going to go back to, for some of, remember that tarot is a template. So these energies could be about the situation that I'm giving, or it could just be the energies of the situation. But, let's say that you're kind of having to choose between someone in a friend group. And I'm only saying that because of this card here. And just be careful and make sure that you do have all the information before you make any move at all. Make sure you're listening to people. You're kind of looking back and seeing something, but it looks like some sort of truth comes out that it's like, oh, okay, that might change things. So, but again, no one is forcing you to make any sort of decision, and you can sit here as long as you want, as long as you're waiting for information to come in. This card is really about you just thinking things through. So is it your secret desire to think things through? Or are you just trying to avoid that altogether? That'll be a question that you need to ask yourself this week. And there's no right or wrong, just understand the answer and how it applies to yourself. So, in your outcome position is the Knight of Pentacles. So, moving forward here in some sort of material way, with, finances or decisions involving material things or money, which is at the end of this. So, you're kind of all over the place this week, which is fine. That's the way life is. But I do feel like you're gathering some information to make a decision on something. Some of you'll understand exactly what that means. And again, there's something here going on with maybe a friend group, and some truth that comes in that kind of changes your mind about something there. All right, let's see what's hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords. So there's something that this is an ending and you're just not there yet. In fact, we've got these two nines. So remember to look that up as an angel number. I don't see anything else, but you're not quite to the tens, not quite where you're done. And again, you're just gathering information. That's what that Chariot card is about. All right, let's see what the Soul Oracle deck says for a wrap up for you, Taurus. And I just feel like this week, just to go back, I feel like you're just mid. You're in the middle of things. Nothing's starting, nothing's ending, nothing's really wrapping up. You're just kind of in the middle of life, and that's the way some weeks are. It's just, tarot readings happen in a week, but life doesn't. Some things take longer than a week to kind of work out, and I feel like that's where you are. You're kind of in the middle of a few things there. All right, final message here from the Soul Oracle deck for Taurus. Final message for Taurus. Make necessary sacrifices. Okay, that could come with this decision or with gathering this information, with some truth that's coming out. So that kind of makes some sense there too. Let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care this week. And I just want to take a breath. I feel like this is a little tense this week. Whatever's going on, everything's like a little bit tense. So make sure you are taking nice, big, deep breaths and breathing in and out. All right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. And the card that you get is the card that says elevate, self-worth. You get what you believe you deserve. It's time to raise your standards. You get what you believe you deserve. Raise your standards. This could be why this change is coming about with some sort of truth. Again, some indecision because you're just waiting on all the information to come in. So, Taurus, thank you so much for being here. Again, I do feel like your reading is very just middle life, where you life gets busy. You've got a lot of things going on. A lot of spoons in different pots and things are happening. So just try to keep it all together. Make sure you're making whatever sacrifices you need to. Make sure you're giving, as your overall card said. So sometimes it is a time to give rather than take. So I hope something here is useful to you in your week coming up. And if you're comfortable sharing, if something's resonating, drop me a comment. Or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe really helps my channel, Taurus. And I appreciate that so much from you. So thank you in advance for doing that. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.